Tuesday, January 16, 2024, Daily Bread. Title: The Lord has given the land into Judah's hand. Judges chapter 1, verses 1 through 26, key verse 2. The Lord answered, Judah shall go up. I have given the land into their hands. Judges chapter 1, verses 1 through 26, NIV. Israel fights the remaining Canaanites. After the death of Joshua, the Israelites asked the Lord, "Who of us is to go up first to fight against the Canaanites?" The Lord answered, "Judah shall go up. I have given the land into their hands." The men of Judah then said to the Simeonites, their fellow Israelites, "Come up with us into the territory allotted to us to fight against the Canaanites. We in turn will go with you into yours." So the Simeonites went with them. When Judah attacked, the Lord gave the Canaanites and Perizzites into their hands, and they struck down 10,000 men at Bezek. It was there that they found Adoni-Bezek and fought against him, putting to rout the Canaanites and Perizzites. Adoni-Bezek fled, but they chased him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and big toes. Then Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off have picked up scraps from under my table. Now God has paid me back for what I did to them. They brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem also and took it. They put the city to the sword and set it on fire. After that, Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites living in the hill country, the Negev and the western foothills. They advanced against the Canaanites living in Hebron, formerly called Kiriath Arba, and defeated Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. From there, they advanced against the people living in Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sepher. And Caleb said, "I will give my daughter Achsah in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiriath Sepher." Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it. So Caleb gave his daughter Achsah to him in marriage. One day, when she came to Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What can I do for you?" She replied, "Do me a special favor. Since you have given me land in the Negev, give me also springs of water." So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. The descendants of Moses' father-in-law, the Kenite, went up from the city of palms with the people of Judah to live among the inhabitants of the desert of Judah and the Negev near Arad. Then the men of Judah went with the Simeonites, their fellow Israelites, and attacked the Canaanites living in Zephath, and they totally destroyed the city. Therefore it was called Hormah. Judah also took Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ekron, each city with its territory. The Lord was with the men of Judah. They took possession of the hill country, but they were unable to drive the people from the plains because they had chariots fitted with iron. As Moses had promised, Hebron was given to Caleb, who drove from it the 3 sons of Anak. The Benjamites, however, did not drive out the Jebusites, who were living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites live there with the Benjamites. Now the tribes of Joseph attacked Bethel, and the Lord was with them. When they sent men to spy out Bethel, formerly called Luz, the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, "Show us how to get into the city, and we will see that you are treated well." So he showed them, and they put the city to the sword, but spared the man and his whole family. He then went to the land of the Hittites, where he built a city and called it Luz, which is its name to this day. Daily bread. First, the Israelites asked God what they should do. The Israelites didn't know which tribe should fight the Canaanites first, but they didn't rush into battle or just decide among themselves. They asked God. When we have an important decision to make, the first thing we should do is pray. Sometimes we like to get advice from friends, family, maybe our Bible teacher. That's great if we go to the right people. But our very first instinct, even before asking for help, should be asking God. Notice that the Israelites asked God first, and then they got help from each other. It's very beneficial to get help from God's people, but it's not the only thing we should depend on. We still need a personal struggle through prayer to seek what God wants us to do. Second, the Lord was with them. What happened after the Israelites followed God's will? The Lord was with them, and he gave them success. They were confident of God's presence, so they could boldly fight to claim the land he had promised. Confidence and courage come from knowing that God is with us. Sometimes we try to be brave through positive self-talk, saying, "I got this," or we search for that affirmation from people around us. But true courage is internal. It comes from God dwelling in our hearts. He strengthens and enables us to do great things because he has that power. When we rely on ourselves, fear and timidity take over. But when we rely on God, we become faith-fueled warriors, conquering difficulties because God is with us. Prayer. Lord, teach me to make a habit of coming to you first when I'm struggling, when I'm unsure, or when I'm fearful. Please help me learn confidence in your presence and power. One word, God is with me